Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. And actually, let me say, it's actually morning. I just woke up. It is not night. I'm used to filming late at night, so you'll have to bear with me. So this is a reading for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And today we have the Knight of Cups. And so what happened was I put out a video for Libra, a reading. The sound was it was just gone, right? I don't know what happened. We're trying to figure it out, see if we can get the original reading out. But you know what? I thought I'm just gonna get myself down to the studio real quick before everybody else wakes up and do another reading, see what we can do, and see what we can do. You know, that's Mercury retrograde for you, baby. As some of you pointed out in the comments, yes, that's definitely the vibe. So let's take a look here. What's going on in these tea leaves? And I like that we started with that Knight of Cups, emotional, beautiful, a very cleansing energy. Okay. So we have a peacock standing upon a little dragon here. So we have the peacock, we have the dragon, kind of in a laying position. And I think that's such an interesting symbol, those two together. For some reason, they seem well paired, don't they? And with the peacock, it is obviously the sign of great beauty and magnetism, but it is also very much related to the goddess Juno, which is a middle goddess, mother goddess. She is kind of a counterpart to Hera. And so we have a real energy of fertility, which, look at this one down here. We have the stork with its bundle. Now, before you get too worried there, that's not to say anybody is pregnant or anything like that, although it could be, right? It could be. These are signs of the creative energies in our life. Okay, this is definitely that real fiery wand energy, the thing that flows through all things, bringing it animation, bringing it life. And so I feel in your current situation, in this cycle that you are in, there is a sense of being quite inspired, things coming together, all of the stuff you need presenting itself. So all of the materials, all of the variables are aligning, the time is there, the motivation is there, and there's a movement towards let's do this thing. I maybe have been wanting to do it for a long time, but here now is it's all presenting itself. Here now is my time to get it done, to do the thing, to immerse myself. And that's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. We've all had dreams of doing this or doing that. And it just doesn't seem to line up, does it? Or if it does, we just don't seem to have the motivation or the will. Right? And that's really what it is, the will to do it. Well, this is like the perfect, everything coming together. Now, we had the dragon. Okay, so we have the peacock on the dragon. Now the dragon is in kind of a little bit of a repose here. So we're in the year of the dragon, and I feel like you're coming to a place where there's a little bit of ease, maybe in your work situation. This might be that there are less happenings, things that you're having to spend all of your free time. Although, listen, it's the time of year where it's a lot of events going on, aren't there? So for one reason or another, it seems like you maybe have some time off, or things are just settling down for this little while to really get in there and be able to begin that creative process. And now this could be that you are doing something like working on a business, a side business, maybe volunteer work. Maybe you are, starting some kind of creative project. But whatever it is, you are going to make the most of this time. It absolutely feels like something that you're excited to be involved in. Now we also have this, look at this cute face here. We have the eyes, we have the nose, we have those lips. There is a sense of high feminine energy. Okay, so I'm trying to think. It feels like there really is this feeling of I just keep thinking beauty. There's so much beauty around. I feel like maybe, this is the time, one of your favorite times of the year. In the northern hemisphere, we're fully in spring. I mean, it's full swing, isn't it? Things are starting to really bloom, and everything's getting more green. Where I'm at, we're going through a cold streak again. But it's the birds are out, everybody's, Twitter-pated, and, it's just really beautiful. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere, we're in those autumn months and it's cooler, and there's a reprieve from those oppressive, months of heat, hopefully. And maybe this is a time where you're feeling like, okay, I can relax a little bit. I can let my hair down. It doesn't feel so anxious, I guess. For me, when those hot months, I feel so anxious that I'm wasting time not doing everything that I can. I'm not outside. I'm not, anytime I'm, doing something besides making use of the good weather, even if it is super, super hot, I just feel like a pull, pulling me outside. So maybe a time where you can kind of slow down a little bit, focus on those things that you want to be making, you want to be creating, and also just a lot of, goodness, beauty. But it also is an energy of sensuality, and I'm like, okay, Lenore, it's a little early in the morning here. But it is a feeling of great sensuality, of attractiveness, of and this could be you, or this could be somebody that you are noticing in your life, and it's something that it feels most welcome, right? And I wonder if you are maybe courting this person, or maybe this is an established relationship, but you're going through a season of really kind of noticing each other again, right? Getting into that groove with one another. And and that feels like something that maybe goes along with what, how all the animals are feeling out there. Just feeling feeling that, you know, instinct. Okay, so let's see. We have the C and a T. So we have CT. Oh, we have the heart. We have a heart here. We have a heart here. And a heart up here. I almost kind of feel like, honestly, I kind of feel like you're almost like kind of dressing up a little bit. You're almost kind of maybe like doing your hair a little bit more, or, you know, I don't know, just like kind of wearing something that makes you feel kind of cute, kind of attractive. And I feel like there's a sense of flirtation going on. I almost wonder if this is kind of maybe like a neighbor, or maybe like maybe it's somebody you work with, like you work next to each other, or I don't know, but I feel like there is a flirtation. I think it's a little innocent flirtation, but I do feel, and it goes with that peacock energy kind of too. Just a sense of kind of wanting to be seen, right? But I don't think you're like aggressively pursuing anything, but I feel like there's this sense of, you know, hey, look at me, you know, and feeling like it's, you know, it's kind of fun, kind of, you know, you want to look presentable and maybe a little bit kind of alluring. And I feel like it's something to kind of put a little pep in your step, right? I think you just are having fun with it. It's enjoyable. It's easy. That's the big thing. Nobody's breaking their own heart here, right? I don't think you have any expectation of anything. It's just kind of a fun flirtation. And I think it's something that you've been looking forward to. You know, you kind of maybe like to go to work under these circumstances, or go out into the neighborhood, or whatever it is. And I think that, you know, this might coincide with why we're all of a sudden having this kind of burst of creative energies come in as well. Because I think that you've really kind of unlocked this place in yourself where it's like you've been going along and it's just, you know, you're doing your thing, minding your own business. And suddenly there is this kind of, hey, you know, I see you, and now I want you to kind of see me. You know, all respectfully, right? We can never be too careful about how, and I'm not going to give a big lecture here, but, you know, we can never be too careful about how we interact with others, especially in these very kind of, it can be very touchy. No, that's the wrong word. It can be very sensitive, right? How we interact with people, especially, you know, if it's something that they haven't reciprocated. So, you know, we always have to be mindful, but I'm talking to a Libra. So, you know what? I know you already know this. You all are the ultimate kind of advocates, mediators. You care about people's well-being. You're very thoughtful. You're careful with people. That's why I always imagine Libras as like counselors and therapists and social workers and people in the medical field, and you know, first responders, or in child, you know, education or whatever, you know, places where you have to have that like extra thing that most of us don't have, right? You have to have that will and passion to want to help people, to care for people, to, you know, be able to pick up on people's what's the word? Like the nuance of each person, right? You're not just like generally blanket statement or understanding stereotype of people. I think you've been around enough people, you've worked with enough people, you have experienced a variety of humanity, and you have a profound love for others. And so, yeah, I think even in these situations where it's like, yeah, there's a flirtation maybe at work, but I'm going to be really careful to not make this like uncomfortable, pick up on the cues, and also, it's a workplace. So that's another thing that we have to be mindful about, of course, So all of this. Now we have a person sitting here, right here, and holding, it looks like a bird, but it looks also like, I'm almost thinking like a little tiny phoenix, because it does look like a flame and a bird. Oh, I see a pomegranate. Right here, the pomegranate. Ooh, the garden. Yes. And then we have a bird. We have a bird right here, and it has a rabbit inside of it. So we have another sign of the fertility energy. And the most sacred pomegranate. So I feel like in this time there is a real rising of spirit. I mean, I feel absolutely like this is a time where you are feeling so much more yourself than you have in a while. It's almost like you've been in a haze for a little bit, right? And you've just kind of been walking through your days doing, on autopilot a lot. I also think that there's just been some kind of heaviness emotionally. Not anything, I think, too, I don't know, what's the word? Anything too destabilizing, right? But I do feel that you're starting to like shake it off and notice like, hey, I was maybe feeling a little bit glum there. I wasn't really realizing kind of how just, I don't know, just kind of walking through it, marching through life, kind of with blinders on almost. And this kind of shift is happening, right? And I feel like there's this real energy of like, yeah, I'm gonna, this is where I'm going to take my opportunity to kind of turn things around for myself. I'm going to, be more present in my day-to-day moments. Maybe not all the time, we can't, it's such a difficult expectation that we, often, and I do this, maybe it's me, maybe it's just me, I don't know. But I go from really just kind of trying to get through the dang old thing, drudging through the days sometimes, trying to get all my tasks done. Can't wait to go to bed, right? From the moment I wake up, I'm like, ugh, I cannot wait until I get to get back in bed and go to sleep tonight. And then I start to realize like, I'm absolutely I'm not here where I need to be. I'm not in this moment. I'm not present for my, the entirety of my day. I'm just kind of doing stuff, one thing after another. And then I'm like, okay, so I'm going to be present all the time. I'm going to make sure that every moment of this day, I'm going to be in my body fully, paying attention to everything that I need to. And that can last for like a day or two, but it's a lot. So sometimes I think it's really important to remember that, yeah, maybe we need to be present in certain moments. And when we feel ourselves kind of, you know, maybe dissociating or getting distracted or, you know, whatever it is, then we kind of think, okay, let's, you know, we're going to do some breathing. I'm going to bring myself back to center. I'm going to focus on what's going on right now, what's right in front of me, and go, you know, instead of expecting of myself to be perfect, you know, just turn it on and there we go. We're going to, you know, fix everything right now in this moment. And it doesn't always work that way, right? We have to give ourselves some lenience. It's a process, isn't it? So I can see that there is this feeling of like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm excited to kind of, you know, meet my day, go and do my things, go to work, find some time for this beautiful creative energy that's flowing through my life right now. And I am rising. And I am rising. But now we also have that pomegranate, which is the most holy symbol. Okay, so this is, to me, when I look at this is like a representation of spirit in our lives. It is the beauty of kind of the universe. I look at the tree. There is it is abundant with pomegranates. When you crack those pomegranates open, they are filled with little galaxies of life, of beauty, of you know, spiritual moments, of this divine messaging. It is sweet. It is a little bit tart. It will leave blood upon your hands if you're not careful, you know? So yes, it is a sign of, potent spiritual energies in your life, and they are accessible to you, but you must take care with them, right? Or you're going to make a mess. So, I see this and I remind myself as I'm thinking about it, you know, and this is a message for me in a lot of ways too. We must take care, but, you know, we must not be covetous of this. And I think of this as fruit. You buy some beautiful fruit and you're excited to partake in you know, experiencing it, the beautiful flavors and you know, the sweetness of it all, and it is kind of a luxurious experience. But then you let it sit there and you think, okay, I'm gonna save it for a special moment. And then I'm really going to enjoy it. And then, you know, time passes and the fruit's not looking so good. And next thing you know, it's getting almost to a point of beyond ripeness, right? And so we can definitely miss our mark when we have these moments. You know, we can be afraid to kind of indulge in these times where the creativity is there, the love is there, the you know, some of those animal instincts are stirring, you know, the creative forces and the beauty of things, spirit alive in our lives. And you know, we can maybe feel like, I need to really temper myself a bit, wait to fully be in this, to immerse myself in these energies. And then next thing we know, it's kind of passing us by. On the other hand, you know, sometimes we can get so involved in it, we lose sight of, you know, the things that are important to our life, especially our kind of mundane daily routines. So kind of really about that balance there. That's very important. Okay, and then we talked about the bird with the rabbit. Now the bird, of course, a messenger. Now this looks to be like maybe a blackbird of some kind. A crow, a raven, something. And you can see it right here. And then we have the rabbit on the inside. So the crow or the raven to me is always kind of this reminder that you're in the right place, okay? Your journey is a blessed one. You have found yourself where you are supposed to be. That's why we have this little blackbird here. Now this one, I think maybe it reminds me more, and now it's black, but it reminds me of a starling kind of. Oops. Oh, I didn't mean to throw you. I'm sorry. There we go. I'm just messing things up here. And so, you know, I'm looking at it and it makes me think. Now we have the rabbit. So it's another fertility, abundance, you know, great passion. Again, this passion. But there is a sense of, you know, fragility in all of it. Not that it's going to just kind of fall apart or dissipate, but it is. I just keep getting this message of taking care, being mindful, you know, and so, I do. It's a sense of like time coming to tell you, we're here, we've arrived. Okay. I'm going to sit outside your window and caw, you know, almost to the point to like, okay, that's enough. I hear you, you know, but there's, at the heart of it, there's just such a fiery abundance. Okay. And I know I keep talking about fire here, but there is deeply this watery emotionality. Now we also had, we had the peacock, right? We also have the crab, the Cancer there, okay? Now, if you can see, right here, let me get her down here. Oh, I don't want there we go. We have the crab right here, and it looks more like it like on this side. There we go, the crab. Okay, so we do have that more kind of watery energy as well, that deep emotionality. It just is flowing, right? And so with the crab though, there is that guardedness. And I think this is the natural inclination of a Libra person. You feel the things that are, which you deem acceptable, you know, and that I think a lot of this is of service, being a support, you know, love in family, with maybe your children, grandchildren, all of this stuff. Yes, this is where I put my love. But then there are these outside kind of forms of love that kind of come up as well. And I think that, you know, in this situation, it's kind of maybe even like something like the flirtation. There might be even a sense of guilt around it, like almost kind of like, it feels fun, it feels silly, it feels, you know, good to have this kind of connection. It's, you know, really kind of motivating me to enjoy the conversations a little bit more, and, you know, this atmosphere of, you know, something interesting going on. But I'm very guarded here. You know, I almost feel like maybe this is how other people act, not how I act. But, you know, I'm going to go ahead and say that, you know, this is an opportunity for you to just kind of enjoy yourself. It doesn't have to be that serious. And like I said, as long as everything is being done in a way that is, consensual, that nobody's feeling uncomfortable, there's not that aggression, the aggression or whatever, and if you are feeling any of those ways, uncomfortable or anything like that, then yeah, definitely it's not something to force yourself into kind of partaking in. But I think that this is something that's just at ease. There's an ease to it. But I do feel that there is a guardedness, of course. You know, that's not anything to push away. We feel the way we feel, you know. And sometimes we might not understand that in the moment. Sometimes it's just part of our nature, you know. I do feel Libra being a person that at times can kind of have these set rules in your mind, and when you challenge them, they it doesn't always feel that great, you know, or it just there's a nagging underlying feeling there, okay? And that's, listen, I understand that, absolutely. I think, you know, and I've said this before, as a Virgo, now we maybe not as guarded, with our feelings, right? But I think that Libra, Virgo, two sides of the same coin, you know, and they're very close to each other, of course. So a lot of the stuff I see in Libra, I feel like is applicable to Virgo for sure. So I feel it, man. I feel it. Now we also have, let's take a look. We have a little flag here. We have a 2, and it feels like there's I just feel like there's a lot of bravery here. A lot of sense of, I feel like you are taking this energy flowing through your life and you're making the greatest use of it, you know. Like I said, it's like you've been waking up from something that maybe you didn't even realize you were kind of so disconnected, you know, and now it's like I can feel this like explorer's energy, you know. You want to go out there and make your mark and do your thing and create your beauty, and I really do. I feel just this real pull towards making, creating, and experiencing. Okay, let's take a look. We have these Wild Bohemian affirmation cards. These are the fire element. We're going to go ahead and flip through. Okay, and I'm going to stop where it feels right. It says, I am seer. Sit quietly in the center of nothingness. Bliss comes through surrender. Sit quietly in the center of nothingness. Bliss comes through surrender. All right. Okay, Libra. If you are watching this and you had watched I think this will actually end up, I don't know if it'll come out the same day that the other one did. The first Libra that had no sound. My husband is, shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot, by the way, Paul, the most amazing person in the world. Not that I'm biased or anything, but yes, he's trying to help me troubleshoot. I did wake him up. I was like, oh my goodness, it didn't have sound. So he's troubleshooting. We're seeing if we can save it. So I ran down to do this reading. I'm hoping it can come out the same day. Maybe not. It might come out with everything that's coming out tomorrow, which would be Monday. But, you know, either way, I thank you so much for putting up with this new studio. I'm going to blame it on the new studio and the retrograde. The reality is, you know, I'm not always the best with the technical things. So sometimes we're going to have some problems. But yes, hopefully everything will be good with this one. I am so thankful for you, and I love you, Libra. I really do. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe, and if you would like to leave a comment, please do. Shout out to all of you who left comments about the sound being messed up, because I I was like, wait, what's going on with Mercury retrograde? And then I realized, oh my goodness, something is not right here. All right. So anyways, I love you. I thank you. We'll talk again in just a few days. Good. I was going to say good night, but you know what? It's like, I think what? 6 in the morning. So good morning. All right. Love you. Bye-bye.